beautiful people, it's your girl Jana, and I'm back today with yet another video. And let me tell you, I really hope you guys are ready because today's video is about to get really creepy. If you're new, don't forget to click the subscribe button for more content just like this. And of course, don't forget to smash the like button if you guys enjoy. And without further ado, let's get into the video.
Tim, John, and Ben are going to explore a house in the back of the woods that is rumored to be where a clan of worshippers do all kinds of rituals. They wander around in the woods for a while until a rickety white house rises from the darkness. Inside, warnings are spray painted all across the walls in big dark letters, but they do not heed them and press on. Tim, John, and Ben take turns breaking stuff and jumping out at each other, but suddenly the three become very serious and quiet when they find a dungeon-like basement that leads straight down.
Right off the bat, these guys are definitely really brave. You're telling me they came across a house that is very clearly a ritual ground for some sort of cult, and they decided to go ahead and let themselves in? Not to mention all the warnings spray painted all over the house walls. Clearly some very sketchy stuff is going on this property, and I would want absolutely no part in that.
The dark area smells extremely foul, and they cover their nose and mouths with their shirts to lessen the stench. The only thing down there besides them are two dolls, or at least that's what they think. Suddenly, all three of them are running from what sounds like a creature with a low, throaty growl.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, please help me! Okay. You gotta go.
If this noise is real, then it almost has to be the end result of a terrible ritual that none of us are brave enough to see.
I do not know what kind of noise that was, but it definitely did not sound friendly, especially judging by the fact that they ran out of there so freaking fast. Very clearly something super terrifying was in that basement. I will say though, I am very relieved that they got the hell out of there because that does not look like a place that you would want to stick around.
Well, on vacation in South Africa, Emily Sawyer dares to climb into the shark tank with some of her friends. She is full of adrenaline and can't help but nervously grip the cage bars out of stress. Soon a giant shark comes prowling along the cage and wants a closer look at the potential meal inside. The tour guides try to keep the shark distracted with a piece of bait on a pole, but it lunges at the last second and chomps where Emily's hands just were. All the other girls can do is watch as the shark almost makes a meal out of their friends' hands. I'm surprised there is not a second outer cage to keep this from happening. Emily got away lucky, but maybe it's just a matter of time before someone pulls back a stump.
I was literally just about to say that cage does not look like enough to protect her, especially if she's able to stick her hand out towards the freaking shark. I definitely feel like there should be another cage over the existing cage that she's in. I also do not understand why they're waving bait around the cage. Obviously that shark is gonna start going crazy. That girl is very lucky that it didn't make a meal out of her. Talk about a way to ruin your vacation.
A lone stranger staggers out of the trees while a man is filming the train tracks. The person seems off balance and out of sorts as they slowly walk forward, barely managing to avoid an oncoming train. Just when it seems like the worst is over, another train fast approaches. It lays on the horn, but he doesn't even hear it. Only when he sees the cameraman pointing at him to get over does he take a step, otherwise he would have kept walking straight in front of it. He owes this cameraman his life, but judging from his lack of a reaction, he hardly seems to even care.
Very clearly this guy is on something because he is completely unaware of his surroundings. He was so close to getting struck, it is actually unbelievable. He definitely owes his life to that cameraman because if he wasn't there, who knows what would have happened. I will say this video is definitely a good example of why you should not take a freaking stroll on train tracks. That is just a disaster waiting to happen.
Shortly after moving into their new apartment, this couple began to feel watched, so they installed a camera in the bedroom. A few nights later, they record a full-grown adult standing outside of their window. At first, he is so focused on staring into their bedroom that he doesn't even seem to notice or care about how obvious he stands out against the well-lit parking lot. When the couple inside walks closer to the window and gets on the bed, he tries to be a little more cautious but fails miserably. It's pretty obvious that he is still there and eagerly looking straight at them. He is about as close to the window as he can be, and he is probably really getting into the idea of watching them without being seen himself, not knowing that he himself is on camera. They can see him the entire time, and this is the exact moment that the boyfriend goes out and confronts the man, who quickly stands up and shows no aggression as he walks away. It turns out to actually be their neighbor next door. He came over and apologized the next day, but something tells me that this is a compulsion that he cannot help, and soon enough he will be back at it again. If not with them, then with someone else.
I am so happy the boyfriend went out there to confront him, because what the freaking hell are you doing? You absolutely cannot just be staring through people's windows like that. That's like the creepiest thing ever. I literally cannot understand what goes through these people's minds that do this. From the looks of it, this guy has done this before and he's probably gonna do it again. To be honest though, no matter what, after experiencing something like this, I would definitely want to move away, especially if that person is my neighbor. Absolutely not.
This street cam records a beverage truck spinning out of control around the corner and launching liter bottles of soda everywhere. A student, judging from his backpack, has to sprint the other direction and barely avoids a carbonated tidal wave. There's also a surge of heavy red crates traveling at a high rate of speed. At the end, it kind of looks like these could have been steel cans, but I'm not sure. If so, each one of them would have hit with the force of a baseball bat, and I can't believe it, but he managed to avoid every single one.
It is truly unbelievable that he managed to avoid every single soda can. There must have been soda cans just flying absolutely everywhere, and I really don't think getting struck with one of those would feel very nice. I really hope the driver of the truck is okay as well, because that definitely looked intense. He was coming around that corner pretty damn fast.
This is apparently police dash cam footage from Arizona. The officer is clearly on highway patrol at night, and after a short while, he takes a turn down a dirt road. This is where he spots a woman standing alone in the road with some small embers near her feet. Though it originally appears she is standing with her back turned to the police officer. Soon after, she lifts up her arms, and there appears to be two glowing eyes facing the officer. The footage ends shortly after with no further explanation. I searched but couldn't find any footage of the incident after this part, so we may never know what happened next to this officer or this woman with glowing eyes.
Your girl is currently in Arizona, and now I'm a little bit freaking scared. You're telling me people are coming across things like this out here? I do not like it whatsoever. This girl was literally in the middle of freaking nowhere. Not to mention, it looked like there was a fire by her feet. I have no idea what that's all about, but very clearly something super sketchy is going on there. And what's with the glowing eyes? That is definitely not normal.
Something has crawled up this poor woman's leg and refuses to come out. Her friend almost has it by the tail, but then at the last second it does the unthinkable and burrows even deeper. The scared animal probably would have gone up way higher if she didn't stand up in time and let gravity force it back down. She is either trying not to scream or lose her lunch as her friend tries again, this time wrapping its tail around his index finger. He manages to extract a giant rat and quickly puts it back in its container. The rat looks used to being handled, and this is probably the only thing that kept it from trying to bite and scratch its way out.
What the freaking hell was the rat doing in her pants? Oh my god, that literally just gave me full body chills. I think I would genuinely get so nauseous having a freaking rat in my pants. I would never be able to live that down. And that rat was pretty freaking big. I don't know why rats just really creep me out. I am not one of those people that finds them cute. I'm so sorry. Those things are freaking disgusting.
Say Neo barely manages to turn his live stream on and say hello before something unexplainably paranormal happens behind him. The window somehow goes from being tightly shut to wide open in less than 10 seconds without a sound. If I'm not mistaken, this type of window doesn't even open from the outside, meaning that somebody had to be standing in the room to even push it open. Zayneo quickly searches his house in less than a minute and finds no one else is home. But when he crosses into the living room, the batteries in his smoke alarm go off for no reason at all. I know this part is real because this is the first time you hear the smoke alarm beep in the entire video.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Smoke alarm malfunction?
The smoke alarm going off, combined with the window opening by itself, is enough to convince me that this is probably paranormal.
Most windows are only able to be opened from the inside because that is a huge safety concern. If you could just open windows from the outside, people would be opening other people's windows left and right. So clearly there had to have been a force from within the room pushing out to make the window open. The smoke alarm going off is definitely a creepy coincidence. I'm pretty convinced this guy has a couple ghosts living in his house.
Caitlin McIntyre is making a video of her grandpa that she wants to remember for the rest of her life, which actually might be shorter than she thinks. It may seem like nothing bad could ever happen to them on such a perfectly sunny day, but to their immediate right is a sharp drop straight off a cliff. They hit a point where the curved road grows very narrow, just as the sun beats down on their car at the worst possible angle, turning the entire windshield into nothing but a blinding white glare. Grandpa does his best to stay on the road, but the sun is so intense that not even his oversized sunglasses can get the glare out of his eyes. They find some brief cover under the trees, and they can see that the road is too narrow to safely turn around. You can tell he doesn't want to keep going, but it's too late now and there is no other choice. He has to go back into the blinding sunlight and keep pushing forward just a little bit more until he can make this turn. Eventually, Caitlin gets out of the car and guides her grandfather to safety. You can still see that the sun is still totally in his eyes, and it's a small miracle they made it out of there alive.
I don't understand why we're not putting railings next to ginormous cliffs where people are driving. Grandpa came very close to sending it off that cliff. And I mean, I can't even blame him because the sun is literally blaring in his eyes and there's no railing anywhere to be found. It's basically a freaking death trap. One wrong move and you're done for.
Two friends are fishing when they hear somebody else firing for hunt not too far away. The two don't think much of it and let the man continue his hobby while they continue theirs. They keep casting into the water and everything is going fine for about a minute, and then the two sports collide.
Holy! Stop! Hey! Hey! It hit my boat!
Look again and you can tell that he doesn't pick his foot up for dramatic effect. It was really that close. When you slow down the video to frame by frame, you can briefly see the round as it bounces off the deck right by his foot. If they had been drifting downriver, even just a little faster, it would have been a direct hit and a trip to the hospital for certain.
I completely respect his reaction because I would also be so pissed. I mean, the man's leg just almost got taken out. He is allowed to be a little angry.
This 8-second video shows somebody hanging on outside of the subway in Chicago. Two things about this video. One, I think I can see the blue straps of a backpack, which would make this stunt even harder somehow. Two, you can see him give a thumbs up at the 3-second mark. He seems quite comfortable with riding outside, and I wonder how many times he has done this before. Though obviously, it's never a good idea to attempt this.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's probably the stupidest idea ever because, oh my god, you can get so unbelievably hurt. I don't even have to explain that to you. I really do not know what this guy is thinking. Just get inside the train like every other normal person. You do not need to be hanging on the freaking side of it. Maybe he's doing some sort of like parkour or something like that. Either way though, it is a very, very stupid.
When somebody quits their job, they are supposed to give them a 2-week notice. This contractor gets very angry at his job site and gives a 2-second notice instead in the form of total carnage. He shows little regard for the safety of a co-worker who is trying to talk some sense into him as he repeatedly slams the heavy equipment into the same spot over and over again, bringing down chunks of ceiling each time. Fortunately, he seems more concerned with wrecking the property rather than taking lives. Although he is lucky he didn't bring the entire place down on everyone.
Someone clearly pissed that guy off for him to feel the need to go in and just start absolutely destroying the entire place. Thankfully, nobody got hurt because I'm sure that was a real possibility. However, like they said, it looks like he was just out to destroy the entire place and not really hurt anyone. What makes a person so mad that they have to go in and destroy an entire property? That's a different level of angry.
Kevin Dybenprock finds himself at the bottom of a ditch. He is not doing well enough to stand up, but he can still hold a camera and record, so he makes a goodbye video to his friends. Oh, and he did try to call for help, but he couldn't get a signal. The sun sets and I think most of us would have passed out or completely panicked by now, but hours later Kevin is calm and focused enough to think of a pretty good plan.
7 o'clock. Trying to use my flashlight to wave somebody down.
You can hear traffic pass him the entire time just 50 feet away, but nobody has any reason to look at the bottom of a huge ditch as they keep going.
Man, I could use a drink of water.
I am amazed that he is not crying or anything as he calmly says goodbye, totally at peace with the situation.
Alright. Love you. Love you, Courtney.
Kevin was found by a random person a full 30 hours later, long after this video ended, and his cell phone has lost its charge. He is still alive and okay.
30 entire hours at the bottom of a ditch just waiting for someone to come and save you. That must have been a truly traumatizing experience for him, and I'm so happy that he was okay. He got super lucky that someone managed to find him all the way at the bottom of the ditch, and it's definitely really sad how he started saying goodbye to his family because he thought he wasn't gonna make it. It just goes to show if you're gonna go out and exploring in nature, please make sure you're being safe. Keep your phone on you, keep your flashlight on you, let people know where you're going, just in case something like this happens and you need someone to come and rescue you. Alright, you guys, we finally made it to the end of this video. Definitely let me know in the comments which clip freaked you out the most. I have to say that one video where that guy was staring into that couple's bedroom was really terrifying. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.